been a huge part of this year. Like, it's just been so challenging, like being active and playing 4 games and then not, and like not feeling the best, and then like frustrated of like how hard I worked in the off season, and then like all I do is rehab and like continue to do this process, and just like trying to trust that the best I can. And obviously there's really frustrating days.
What happens when the WNBA's golden goose goes down and the league acts like nothing's wrong? Caitlin Clark just broke her silence in a sit-down with Sue Bird, giving the most in-depth look yet at her injury struggles. For the first time, she revealed the emotional toll of being thrown into Game 30 without proper prep, and how it changed her perspective on what her injured teammates had been dealing with all along. Clark talked about the mental grind of watching from the sidelines while league viewership shifted without her on the floor, a clear reminder of just how much weight she carries for the WNBA. Her vulnerability exposes both the personal cost of this grind and the uncomfortable truth about her value to the league. So here's the real question. Does the WNBA finally need to fix its officiating and protect its stars? Or are they content to gamble with the very players keeping the league alive? Drop your thoughts below. Let's go.
There's days where like it's a little bit easier and like you're very, very motivated and like you're close to the finish line of getting back and being back, and then like it's not like I have a training camp to like build up to like playing my first game again. It's like, no, like you're tossed into Game 30, like go try to play well. Like it's hard, like it really is. And I think it has given me really good perspective on like what a lot of my teammates and people that I've, teams I've been a part of, like certain people have had to go through. Like I've never been through anything like this.
Clark's injury struggles started early and came out of nowhere, forcing her to face a reality she'd never experienced in her basketball career. It began with a left quad injury in preseason, just the first domino in what became a season-defining battle. She missed 5 games with that left quad strain from May 28th to June 10th, then got hit with another setback, a left groin injury that sidelined her for 4 more regular season games plus the Commissioner's Cup final from June 26th to July 5. But the breaking point came with a right groin injury that's kept her out since July 15th, a stop-and-go season that tested her mental toughness even more than her body. Like, this wasn't just about recovery. It was about learning how to sit still, watch, and keep fighting when every instinct told her to play.
Like, and I think that's probably why it's been so hard, because like I've never really dealt with injury, and that's probably been a challenge in itself, because like when I first like was feeling pain, like I didn't understand it. Like I didn't know. I was like, am I just tight? Like, am I just getting old? Do I need to hit a stretch? Do I need to get like a little rubbed out? Do I need some icy hot? Like what's going on here? So I think it's been a balance of like understanding my body. And I know like, whether it's this year, whether it's next year, and even throughout my career, I'm going to be very thankful for this moment.
The uncertainty ate at her in ways she never saw coming. This is someone who never missed a college game, suddenly colliding with the unforgiving demands of professional basketball. Clark summed it up perfectly in her interview with Subbird. It's not like I have a training camp. You're tossed into Game 30. No usual ramp up. Just trust your body and hope it holds together when you step back on the court. That stop-and-go rhythm wasn't just frustrating. It was the most agonizing part of the entire ordeal, a constant reminder that nothing about this season would come easy.
I think early on with the first couple injuries, I was like, oh, like I need to get back. Like, but I think like my mom texted me like after this last injury, and like they know how hard it's been on me, but my mom was like, you've taken so much time for everybody else. Like you have to take time for yourself now. So just trying to do that the best I can too.
Her mother's text landed differently during this stretch. You've taken so much time for everybody else. You need to take time for yourself now. Those words hit harder than any defender. For Clark, the pressure to rush back wasn't just about basketball. It was about unlearning years of putting everyone else first. That single message marked a quiet turning point, forcing her to see her health not as an obligation to the team, but as a responsibility to herself.
Viewership and ticket sales are like up across the WNBA, and then and they're also, when you don't play, there's a dip, like a substantial dip. So how do does it impact your patience? You know what I mean? Like you're coming back from this injury and this, everybody knows this, that when you play that changes.
Yeah.
I guess the better question is, how are you like managing it so it doesn't impact your patience?
Meanwhile, the numbers told an uncomfortable story about Clark's impact. The Fever were simply better with her, going 8-5 when she played compared to 9-9 without her. Attendance dipped during her absences, and the TV ratings followed suit. The May 17th Sky Fever matchup drew about 2.5 million viewers, one of the WNBA season highlights. But later games, without Clark and other stars, averaged closer to 1.5 million on ABC than on the court. The Fever were fighting for a playoff spot while missing their primary scorer and playmaker. At times, injuries left them with only 9 active players, and restrictive league rules limited immediate hardship signings, adding another layer of frustration to an already thin roster.
Definitely been hard.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'm going to go to every road game no matter what, like whether I'm playing or not. Like, and it's hard because obviously I do feel this like responsibility of like being out there and playing, and like, not that I like think there's like a fear of any of this ever going away. Like, that doesn't happen when like LeBron or Steph get hurt. Like, they're always going to be there.
No,
like,
he'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like, you do want to play. Like, you want to give people something to cheer about or scream about, or, you know, people spend so much time and money and resources to come and watch you play.
This stretch gave her a new perspective on what injured teammates go through, and made clear how heavily the league leaned on her presence. Without Clark's scoring punch and playmaking vision, the Fever's offense grew predictable, forcing teammates into roles they weren't fully prepared to handle. Their hold on 5th place felt fragile every time she sat out. But Clark, who had stayed quiet through much of this adversity, was about to speak up in a way no one expected.
It's been cool to like see people continue to show up, and like for my teammates, whether they're like fans of the Fever or just fans of myself, like they're continuing to show up and support. And like, that's why I've been trying to take as much time as I can. Like, I sign autographs for way longer when I'm hurt than when I'm active.
Yeah.
So, that's never something I like wish for, but like, you know, I still want to make as much time as I can for people and, you know, give them something that they can remember. And
when Clark sat down with Sue Bird, the conversation veered into territory that sent league executives reaching for their phones. Bird brought up Clark's habit of coaching from the bench during her injury absence, and Clark didn't hold back. With a grin, she admitted she wasn't just coaching teammates, but working on the refs, before dropping the line that made everyone sit up. "I'd make a good ref. I wouldn't miss a call." It landed less like a joke and more like a challenge, echoing straight to league headquarters.
We've all seen you on the sideline, quote unquote, coaching. What do you think?
more so coaching the refs.
Yeah.
This wasn't some casual quip from a sideline star. Clark's remark hit during one of the most heated seasons in recent memory, when officiating had already become a lightning rod across the league. Coaches and players were openly questioning consistency, some even taking fines for speaking out. Against that backdrop, her words couldn't be brushed off as sideline humor. The timing alone made them impossible to ignore.
I think the most challenging part of like all this, so obviously I have the first injury and I sit out 4 games, and then I come back and I play really well.
Yeah.
And I feel really good. And like, even this begin the year, like I played great. Like, I started the year really good. Like, I felt really great. Like, my numbers were great. I was shooting the ball well. And then I get hurt, and it's like, okay, like, you got to get healthy, whatever. You're like, I'm going to do whatever I can, you know, to get back to what I was doing and whatever, feel good.
Now that Clark has become one of the WNBA's marquee attractions, every word she says carries weight. Her critique didn't sound like sour grapes. It was laced with sharp wit and backed by evidence. Clark's basketball IQ gave her comments teeth. She'd broken down film, studied angles, and understood how real fouls looked in live speed. From the bench, she'd seen questionable calls pile up against her teammates, spotting patterns in how games were being officiated. And after taking her share of hard fouls and cheap shots as a rookie, Clark wasn't content to just absorb it. She wanted to shape how the game itself was called, stepping into a role bigger than just star player.
What was the biggest adjustment out of all of that?
I think just how much I was getting pressured. Like, it was just like constant full court. Mm-hmm. And also, I think as the season went on, like, that chilled out as much. Like, it's hard to like want to do that an entire season. Like, teams, like, you don't want to pick up 94 feet the entire season. Like, that's just hard.
Clark's pointed comment wasn't an isolated remark. It fit into a league-wide undercurrent of frustration. For years, players had quietly grumbled about inconsistent officiating, but Clark's voice carried farther and louder than most. Her platform forced the conversation into the open, leaving WNBA executives in a bind. They couldn't risk alienating their brightest star, yet they couldn't ignore her very public critique of their referees. But the officiating debate was only the tip of the iceberg. What Clark endured on the court went far beyond routine rookie hazing. The hits weren't just hard, they were relentless, and at times they felt targeted. By the end of her first year and into her sophomore season, a troubling picture emerged. This wasn't just about learning how to handle pro-level physicality. It was about surviving it game after game, in a way that seemed personal, even systematic.
Looking back on your rookie year, it's, everybody's picking you up full court, trying to tire you out.
For sure.
Not let you get anything easy. They're physical with you. They're pushing you right. Everyone knows you like to go left. So now teams you already talked about in college, they didn't really do that as much. You're getting trapped. All the things.
Clark, and plenty of others watching, felt the physicality she faced went far beyond normal rookie bumps. Opponents didn't just guard her, they hounded her. Full court pressure, hard traps, forced angles. Every possession became a test of endurance. Clark herself described the treatment as constant, calculated harassment, more about grinding her down than playing straight-up defense. This wasn't a lesson in how tough pro basketball can be. It was a coordinated effort to sap her energy, limit her impact, and make every game feel like a survival test. Interview 12, The intentional nature of Clark's treatment became obvious when comparing how opponents guarded her versus other rookies. Her rare mix of deep shooting range and playmaking vision made her a marked target for relentless defensive schemes. Teams weren't just trying to keep her off the scoreboard. They were determined to wear her down over 4 quarters. Clark herself admitted that the toll on her body was unlike anything she'd experienced before, describing it as completely uncharted territory. The difference between the protection she enjoyed in college and the unforgiving physicality of the WNBA was thrown into sharp relief by her recent injury setbacks.
So I think that's been the hardest part, has just been the stop and go of everything. And also with the type of injuries that I've dealt with, there's no real, it's not 6 weeks. All right, you're coming back for the Connecticut Sun game on August
all about how you
30th
feel in the moment.
Or whatever. It's how do you feel? And even when I have been back, I don't know how I'm going to feel the next day after playing, when you're dealing with these type of injuries. So I think just the patience of dealing with all of that and giving myself a lot of grace and just trying to be the best teammate I can. And
Clark's recurring quad and groin issues, compounded by a stop-and-go season, have amplified debate over whether marquee players receive adequate protection. Both she and her teammates have publicly questioned officiating, pointing to missed calls and inconsistent enforcement, while Clark herself has been outspoken from the sideline about the physical pounding she endures. The cumulative toll, she said, was unlike anything she experienced in college. Her situation exposes deeper concerns about how the league balances physicality with player safety. When its most marketable star is repeatedly sidelined, questions about the WNBA's priorities become unavoidable. By speaking candidly about her struggles, Clark has signaled a shift. Her silence has ended, and her willingness to confront these issues may prove a turning point for the entire league.
I think that's also been really good for me too, is when I do go out before games and sign autographs and see all the young kids or fans or whoever's come to the games, it just gives me a really good perspective on everything and maybe gives me a little bit of motivation and just being thankful for everything that I have, and very thankful for my fans and just the fans of the WNBA of how they can constantly continue to support and truly just want the best for me too at the end of the day. I think that's something that's really cool.
Clark's candid interview shifted the conversation from stats and highlights to player health, officiating, and how the league safeguards its biggest stars. Her openness about these struggles sets a new standard for player advocacy, one the WNBA can no longer afford to ignore. Meanwhile, the Fever have held steady in her absence, hovering near playoff position thanks to key contributions from Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, and Sophie Cunningham. That mix of team resilience and Clark's renewed determination offers real hope for when she returns at full strength. Should the WNBA rethink officiating or do more to protect its players? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Check out the video on your screen, and we'll see you next time.